Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Theodicy Podcast. I'm gonna have a little background noise going on. My daughter, she's teething and going through the process, so she's definitely gonna be in her little zone of just making a whole lot of noise, which, as you guys know, is unpreventable. But anyhow, good morning, guys. I am back. I'm waiting for a few people to come into the building, but for those of you who are gonna drop in and be in the bushes or see the video later, please take the time out to subscribe. Hit the up like button and notification bell. So every time that I go live, you guys will definitely be notified. Um, y'all, has been some things going on, but it's something that I definitely wanted to come in and discuss because for me, I feel like is so much of things that happen within the jail systems that are not okay. It's so much things that are consistently going on where the minority are being ill treated in the jail systems, or you have to have enough money in order to beat certain charges. For me, it's a real botherance when I came across this story about this producer by the name of Molly Mall. If you guys are familiar, that's my daughter back there. If you guys are, for she's co-hosting with me, guys. But if you guys are familiar with Molly Mall, he's a producer and he worked with Justin Bieber, um, I believe Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Tigger. He worked with a few big names, and he also was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And when I came across this story, it kind of blew my mind because, for him to portray a person of music and in the industry, we all know what the industry could entail of and what goes on behind the scenes from the things that we have heard and probably things we even read about. But this producer, Molly Mall, was out here trafficking women. He actually ran a whole prostitution ring. He was in Miami and then he also was in Las Vegas. Now, the reason why the story struck me because he only got sentenced to 33 months. Now, 33 months is what equivalent to about 3 years. And even with that, you don't even serve the whole time. For me, that's a botherance. I can't understand how, along with sex trafficking, you also were laundering. He was like laundering money. It's a couple of females that he was pimping that ended up missing. These things I noticed that they haven't really brought to the light, but I'm discussing it because I did some research. It was an interview, shout out to Tasha K. It was an interview that Tasha K did with one of the victims, and her name was Quashay. And it was devastating the things that Quashay was explaining that took place. And not really knowing what she was walking into. She definitely wasn't walking into trying to go into prostitution or nothing of the sort. She was, going there thinking that she was going to have an opportunity to be with more big name celebrities because she was a fitness trainer. But I'm going to just give you a little backstory with the producer, Molly Mall. So, hip hop producer Jamal Molly Mall Rashid was sentenced on Thursday to 33 months in prison for operating and prostitution service based out of Las Vegas. The 45-year-old Rashid ran the sex service ring with women he dubbed priority girls, pimping them out between 2002 to 2014, charging clients between $1,000 to $10,000 per date. Federal prosecutors said in most cases, women working for Rashid only received a small fraction, usually $100, of a date's proceeds. And he kept tight control of their activities, according to the authorities. After a woman became a priority girl, she quickly learned that defendant expected her to follow many rules, according to a sentencing memo by acting U.S. Attorney Christopher Chow. For example, give me 1 minute, guys. Co-host, co-host. May I help you, co-host? Can I give the information and have a conversation? Can you give me a moment? Or you gonna just okay, I guess she doesn't. She'll be screaming back there and going through the motions. One moment. I'm sorry about that. She is definitely going through the motions. As you know, when you have a small baby, definitely teething and all of that, forget about it. But yes, back to what I was saying. For example, defendant required priority girls to take him when they went anywhere. They were not allowed to date anyone, and defendant encouraged them to get Rashid related tattoos to demonstrate their loyalty to him. Rashid had already pled guilty in October 2019 to one count of use of an interstate facilitate in aid of unlawful activity. Jamal accepted full responsibility for his conduct that occurred almost a decade ago. Defense attorney Richard Scarlin said he will serve his sentence and looks forward to returning to the music industry. U.S. District Judge Gloria M. Navarro also sentenced Rashid to 3 years of supervised release once he's out of prison. Stephen Saudu, another attorney for Rashid, pledged that his client would turn his life around while in custody. Jamal long ago accepted responsibility for his actions in the case and has worked hard to turn his life around. Sadu said he always recognized that his punishment would likely include a substantial time in federal custody, but looks forward to release and successful return to the music business. Rashid has worked with artists, like I said to you guys prior before in the beginning, Tigger, Justin Bieber, Usher, Sean Kingston, and he also premiered in the series Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. And I believe he probably did like one show or two shows, if I'm not mistaken. Rashid has until August 13th to surrender to federal authorities and begin his prison sentence. Now, that for me, I heard 33 months, and that for me was a big, big problem just due to the fact that you were sex trafficking women. They also had, to my knowledge, they had an undercover that was working um, underneath Jamal, aka Molly Mall, aka Rashid. And basically, that undercover was sent in to basically find out and get all the information for them to be able to pursue a case. But you're pursuing a case where this man is only going to get 33 months for the multiple damages that he has put in people's lives at this point, because I'm sure some of the girls that he had, like I said before, from hearing and listening to an interview, that he had females that was with him, and around 2010, or I believe 2009, about four females went missing. They don't bring that up. He's not being charged with that. He also dealt with money laundering. And even to go deeper, I also got information, allegedly, I'm going to say it, I'm going to just say alleged, that he was actually paying off the Las Vegas PD as well as Miami PD. And on top of it, it was a time where he assaulted a female police officer. And for me, I'm so angered by it because I can't understand why this man is not getting more time, because he has proven to be a danger to society. As you know, he's looking forward to going back into the music business and making money. And all of this is going to just continue, because even while he's locked up, I'm pretty sure that he has people running it. On top of it, Molly Mall, we're dealing with high paying customers that we can't even imagine to even begin to think like, damn, this is what's really happening. He has people like all the way in Dubai. You know what I'm saying? He has people that's in the government type situation that were also soliciting sex from the females that, he had underneath him. I'm over it. I feel like I have family that's in the jail system that were not able to get an opportunity to have a second chance. A lot of times they say that the jail system is supposed to rehabilitate. I don't understand what is rehabilitating. And then when you hear that, you also realize when you hear stories like this, damn, you have to have a certain amount of money, you have to be living a certain type of way, or you have to be a certain complexion in order to get the justice that you need. And honestly, for me, at this point, this man is not getting no justice. This man is not getting the justice, um, period. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to anything that he did, none of his victims, I should say, is getting justice for anything he has done. He's only going to serve 33 months. He won't even serve out the rest of it. And it's just very disheartening because, like I said, he's going to come back out and he's going to just have it keep on going. And even while he's incarcerated, because of the pull he got at this point, he's able to keep on having females being sex trafficked and etc. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of these females, yes, they may be broken females, but they don't deserve to be beaten, killed, or nothing, of the sort. I feel like that's very damaging. But like I said, my main reason to come on was because I just couldn't understand how this person could get 33 months for all of the things that I'm sure they're aware of him doing, but yet, you got so many young people that's incarcerated as we speak, from young to old people that's incarcerated that really don't deserve to be in jail or don't deserve to be locked up and really are trying to find their way and also just overall trying to rehabilitate themselves. Like the jail system honestly was set up for the doors to be revolving for, of course, the minority community. And it blows my mind that this is how our society's set up. But like I said, for this man to do all that he's done and only receive 33 months, it's blowing my mind. And it just shows you what kind of world that we live in. And I'm going to be real. Obviously, money talks, bullshit walks. You got to have a certain amount of money because, yes, I believe he is Black and Puerto Rican. But even so be the case, he has a certain amount of money and a certain amount of pull to get away with the things that he is getting away with right now, which I find it to be ridiculous. I have the link in the chat, so anybody that's interested and want to hit the link, you can go right ahead and hit the link, and share your opinions, or you can leave it in the comment. Please take your time out to subscribe, hit the up like button and notification bell. My co-host right here, you hear her back here. Hold on 1 minute, okay? Why you? I mean, you screaming, you screaming so loud. Can we have a conversation? Okay, guys. But yes, anybody that's interested in, more of the story on Molly Mall or even an interview with the young lady, go check out the content creator Tasha K. She did a full-on interview with the young lady that went into depth with the things that he did and how she feels regarding how the police system has worked against her instead of for her. And I'm gonna do one thing. Give me 1 minute, real quick, guys. I'm gonna do one thing because my co-host is over here going. I'm gonna put her on a walker real quick. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm just like literally, it's early, top of the morning. I definitely wanted to come in and tell you guys about this story and really give my input on how I feel that, it's wrong for this man to only get 33 months. He should be serving more times just off of the strength of the things that he was engaged in. He obviously caused a lot of harm to a lot of females. A lot of females felt trapped. A lot of females went to see him on other intentions other than what happened to them when they did go to meet him. A lot of females were drugged. like I said, if you go check out Tasha K's interview, the young lady Pushay talks about, being given a beverage and she drinks it and not being able to like literally feel her legs or her arms or feel anything. So I believe if you guys go and check that interview out, you guys will definitely gain a little bit more insight on the things that he was doing to these females. And just how he definitely, no matter what, because he has money and his money is long, right? That he has the pull to do a lot. He has had this young lady have to move countless of times. He's been trying to get people to find where her new residence is currently, and she's been scared for her life. So, not for nothing, he's definitely going to continue when he gets out to be a menace to society, but also because his money is long, he's still able to run the whole sex trafficking and prostitution ring while he's locked up. And it's just sad because like I said, we have people that are locked up right now that don't deserve to be locked up, that okay, they committed a crime and they have to okay serve the time for it, but the amount of time that certain um people that are incarcerated right now for the things that they did or the mistake that they made is it's ridiculous. And to hear this man only getting 33 months with all the shit that he's doing, I would have thought he would at least got at least a minimum of 10 years or better. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, when your money is long, you could do whatever you want. I definitely want to come back, guys, and talk more about the situation dealing with carbonation, the update on what's happening with the cult leader, Eligio Bishop, which his bond was denied. He also had a probable hearing. Welcome, Puerto Rican. Peace, Puerto Rican. Thank you for pulling up on me. How are you doing? The link is there if you want. You can definitely pop in. I definitely wanted to give you guys an update, like I said, on Eligio Bishop. As we knew, his bond hearing was denied, and he had a probable cause hearing, which took place, and that also basically turned out not in his favor, which they will continue to pursue the case under the district attorney. They're going to continue to pursue the case, and he would be judged by a group of his peers. Um, that update that I have gotten, I'm so happy. He definitely, because he's another one that's just a menace to society. He does not need to be on the streets. He does need to go and sit down for a long time for the mental abuse and anguish that he has put on these young people that believed that they were coming to cleanse their spirit and follow a spiritual journey. Instead, he has destroyed these women and young men. And I feel like he doesn't deserve to see another light of day. Good morning. Good morning, Kane Tube TV. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for pulling up on me and thank you for the support. Like I said, you guys are welcome. The stream is right there in the chat. I have my co-host, my daughter Zori is my co-host over here. She be screaming in the back, but it's all good. Um, but yeah, with the whole carbonation situation dealing with Eligio Bishop, I honestly do not feel he deserves to see another light of day. Reason being, like I said, he has done so much. Oh, Puerto Rican 360. Good morning, Puerto Rican 360. I'm so happy you have came up. Can you do me a favor? Would you mind giving a little insight on what's been happening with the Eligio Bishop case? And I'm gonna go deal with our third co-host over here, Zuri, and I'll be right back.
Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Well, what's going on with Eligio? Basically, he was denied bond, which if everyone Googles everything, why not Google up what's not bondable charge in Georgia? One of his charges is the R word. We can't use the R word. That's a non-bondable charge. So I don't know why everybody thought he was going to get out. But anyway, the DA pleaded her case and she ripped Eligio to shreds. In the first hearing, the judge seemed to be very bothered. You know, he seems like he might be a grandfather or a father. And, the videos that she showed with the female members slapping each other while he ordered them to slap each other. He was kind of bothered by that. The DA, she seemed to be very, annoyed and bothered with, just reading everything out to the judge. Natiri's statement of her asking the judge not to give him bond. She showed it
Oh,
like she showed two videos of his behavior. Um, and if anybody knows like cult information, any cult leader that's ever said that he was God, the government has a big problem with that. So he's broken every rule that you can possibly break, and he's not getting out, people. He had a probable cause hearing. They have too much evidence on him. Some content creators are saying they have no evidence. They have no. Listen, the young lady made a report the day after she got assaulted. You
and
don't
to
know
be
what
honest
evidence.
with you, they do have evidence against him, but what you just mentioned right there about a lot of content creators mentioning that he may walk on certain things. What I don't think they're understanding is even though she may have engaged in sexual activity with him, being that she left and he released video on her, that's what they charged him with, transmission. That means you put her up there in order to, in other words, what, how can I use a better term? Um, how can I say this right now? Because the word is
It's
definitely like he tried
revenge.
to
It's
revenge
revenge. Yeah,
and
revenge.
intimidate her at the same time. So when he
Mm-hmm.
released that, he was at the probable cause hearing, making it seem as though, trying to prove his case as everything was a willing situation. But like the district attorney says, she did not give you permission to release it on any of the sexual things on her website. Give me one moment. Go right ahead, Puerto Rican.
It's a very serious situation. At the end of the day, whether that young lady kept going back and forth or whatever have you, that particular day, she did not want to engage in any activity with this man. And he did not respect her wishes. That's just the bottom line. Doesn't matter whether or not, oh, she did it. She had sex with him before. She left, she came back. It doesn't matter. If you are with a man and you tell him no, or vice versa, because men go through these things too. If you say no, no means no, and that's just it. On top of that, if she wasn't serious, she would have never made a report. But she made a report as soon as she left from there. And at the end of the day, he does hold them hostage. He can say what he wants to say. Been on many occasions where they said he got their documents and things of that nature. So people need to stop living in this fantasy world. Stop thinking they're all lawyers and paralegals and that they know everything. Everything that's on video is considered evidence. If you didn't know that, we're in the age of the camera, the age of the video. There's cameras everywhere. What do prosecutors use? to prosecute you? Your video evidence. Okay? And you don't know what evidence they have in regards to the R charge. They already have the revenge porn because they have the video.
I think that's one of the things that they did say that they were that's one of the things that they're trying to make him walk on because now he has a new attorney. In the probable cause hearing, his attorney was advising him not to speak, and he still wanted to say something. And I think it came down to the point where the judge was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" Kane Tube TV is saying we must also remember that this is only beginning of this situation concerning a slew of foot Eligio. This isn't law and order where you're gonna get the arrest, trial, and conviction within TV hour. Okay, I agree with you, which is so true. Kane Tube TV also says, who's to say that the Fed boys don't get involved since they have years of footage on him with his rhetoric? Who's to say that behind the scenes there's more that meets the eye? I agree with you, Kane Tube TV, because I feel like they had him go on with the behaviors that he went on with for a long period of time, which allowed him to recruit a lot of young people.
Yep, that's what the FBI does. They investigate you at least for 10 years. At least. That's what people don't understand. And
I feel
they're not paying attention to all these content creators that are in trouble. You got
I
several big content creators that are in a lot of trouble.
I feel like you know these people are playing with okay. So when you go deeper into the history of magic, you can use magic for good, you can use magic for bad, right? Even to understand where voodoo came from. A lot of people misinterpret when you hear it's really voodoo, but when you hear the word voodoo and you're not fully getting an understanding, like I said, in this world we live in, you can use anything for good or bad. It all depends on you. And I think that he was working, doing whatever black magic he was doing. You understand what I'm saying? And he started to bring out multiple demons, multiple demons. You understand what I'm saying? That I don't even think he could control because it was a point that he was no longer himself. And then the way he had the group of those young people doing the chants, it was almost to allow whatever he was trying to allow to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Go through, like to a summons the devil in a sense.
Well, you got to remember that man has a personality disorder. So he has all these entities. It's like, you know, it's like
Oh
if
my.
if I had a personality disorder, today I can be Susie and I'll be Susie for the whole week. And then, I'll wake up next week and I'm Margaret, you know, that's what he goes through. If you notice, like when he was in jail, uh, in Nicaragua, he was there for about almost a month, right? When he came out, he was very docile for a long time. He
Yes, he
wasn't
was.
screaming. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't cursing. He wasn't wilding out on camera. He didn't even talk on camera for about 2, 3 months after he got out. It was just the members doing their daily, videos. Real calm, real cool. And then all of a sudden one day he was back to wearing the headdress and wilding out and this and that and da 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 and da da da. And it continued for a long time. He went to Puerto Rico. He was acting crazy. All these things happened over there. Zoka's baby, him putting the women to fight, him putting the men to fight. And then when he left from
I'm
there and went
happy
to
you
Atlanta,
mentioned that fight. And I want to go back to that fight after you finish your thought. Go right ahead.
okay. And then when he came to Atlanta, then he, now he's wearing jewelry and he's trying to look like a rapper and now he wants to be a rapper and all this and that and blah blah blah. And then he started wearing some feathers in his hair and you see it's all these characters, all these entities. Then all of a sudden he wants to be androgynous and now he's three god and he got nails on and he's admitting to the fact that he's homosexual and all these things and it's crazy. Like it's crazy, it's crazy. This is what he goes through. This is his personality disorder. And sometimes people who have that, they either have good entities or they have bad entities, and all his entities are bad. He doesn't have not one that has any type of empathy or remorse or kindness. They're all very demonic and very toxic. And as time goes on and he doesn't get treated, all it does is get worse and worse and worse to the point where, you could be
Well,
like
I'm gonna
how
tell
the
you the
homeless
truth.
people are.
In the probable cause hearing, you wouldn't even know who that was you was hearing speaking. I was confused. I was at the look and like, is that him? Because he done turned into a whole nother person. Kane Tube TV said Nature Boy is a demon justice when he used to run around back in the day, stripping with Punisher, doing shows with Crazy Sam, playing around on Christopher Saint, letting them Euros play in his butt. Okay. Yes, Kane Tube TV, you giving me some history because honestly, the history that you're giving me right now in that little paragraph that you just put, I really didn't have no knowledge on. Kane Tube TV also said personally, I think with all this alter ego mad characters he is playing may have came from being vassal-vagled when he was young and starving, running around Midtown. Nobody from Wagner knows him. Okay. Because he always seems to call out Wagner projects. Go right ahead, Puerto Rico.
Right. Just to clarify, vasovagal is the euphoric feeling or process that you experience when you have anal sex. And vasovagal can cause you to almost be like digmatized or whatever. Well, let's call it digmatized, not hypnotized, but digmatized in a sense where you could be easily manipulated. So that's what
According
that means.
So let me tell you, according to the interview, which I thought the interview, if I could slap True, I probably would slap him because I really think that he was trying to play a game when it came down to the content creator Nick at Night. She did an awesome job as far as trying to maintain her composure with him, and the little mind games he was trying to play with her was unreal. But she asked that question, and he stated that none of the men had to do anything that was said. All of that was hearsay. What is your feelings? Do you believe that is hearsay, or do you believe that he did have involvement with some of the men in carbonation?
Oh, I definitely know that he had experiences with those young men because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And no matter what way of life we choose to follow, we all have a limit. And there's no way in hell that those seven men over there just let this man do whatever the hell he wanted to do with them like a rag doll and they never fucking stood up for themselves. I mean, period.
I have something to say about that, right? It's so funny that you said that. I definitely want to just jump into the whole true situation. But before I get there, let me backtrack to what you mentioned regarding the fight. Um, everybody's trying to put it on everything on the Terry, but what I don't think they have realized is that it's a lot more cult members that they're probably not mentioning because they want to remain anonymous that also are playing a part in keeping Eligio where he's at. Now, that fight that took place, the district attorney was able to see the footage of that fight between Malia and Velvet.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. That fight alone and how he orchestrated it, you already know what
Mhm.
time it is, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So for
Yep.
me, I think that's what people have to realize. It's just not Nateri. And even for him, it's like, okay, bro, it's not only Nateri. You have to be more smarter than that to know that you have harmed a lot more people, right? So let's be real. Now, True did the interview. I'm not sure how much you seen regarding the interview that took place. And shout outs to Neek at Night because I'm telling you, she held her composure and she's an awesome content creator and I like to check her out because she does do her um investigations thoroughly when it comes down to certain things. But like I said, I don't know how much you watched of the interview, but when I promise you, the interview had me so upset because I thought he was playing mind games, but she did get what she could have got out of him. And I realized that True may also be suffering with some form of illness, being that he came from the military. She played back old videos for him to see of him speaking, of him seeing people heads blown off and arms blown off and she asked him, do you think you may have PSTD? And he was like, no, but True honestly has some type of issue for him to still be there. Like if this aka Eligio Bishop, aka Three God, aka Nature Boy, because this man is so much different personalities. You got to say all of them. You know what I'm saying? But this guy, True, he's still talking about being this man's servant. I'm confused. I really think something is wrong with them. How is your feelings towards what you feel with that? And before you even answer, Kane Tube TV said, for the chat and listeners out there, this is real New York talk. He was a bum back then. His bum ass used to be behind the convent house and in the village selling his ass. Real actual facts. Came to TV back then. He used to be talking that white man justice, black man grief shit way before he became Nature Boy. My brother had to beat him up back in the day on West 4th Street because he thought he was tough. Oh shit. Okay, so Kane Tube TV, you have history and knowledge on him. So do you feel like he did that in order to have some type of form of control? How do you feel about that Puerto Rican 360 and Kane Tube TV? Do you feel like he jumped into the spirituality in order to have control and be able to feel like he has some form of power? Like almost like a power trip?
Well, he's a psychopath. Those people got to understand. Like if people follow cults, right? Charles Manson, he was the leader of a cult. He didn't kill not one person. He used to send his followers, his flock, to go and do the killings. But he ended up in jail until his death. So this is what people got to understand. You could send somebody to go kill somebody. Yeah, that person's going to go to jail for doing the actual murder. However, because you orchestrated it and you gave the instruction, you're going to get more of the time. Period. That's what people don't understand. And everything is on camera. He did everything on camera. And he made a lot of people upset. The people that left, there's a lot of people who are still
I
upset
think
with
he
him.
has an obsession with that, though. I think he has an obsession with the camera because
He
for
does.
you to, yeah, definitely an obsession. I don't know what type of feeling that he
It's
feels
not
like
it's
he's
not
doing
even the obsession with the camera. He has an obsession with being a star because he's done everything in his lifetime, in his record to always be in the spotlight. Whether it was stripping, whether it was porn, it always had he was always trying to be the front man or something. So you
I
got your fucking 5 minutes of fame, nigga. You happy? Now you
That's the
going to
thing about
jail.
it.
In the words of Pop Marquez, you going to jail, Eligio. He been put that curse on you, Duke.
And he definitely needs to stay in the jail, underneath the jail, and definitely like I said, he's a menace. Kane 2 TV said True's been weird way before the army enrollment. True. If you look at the videos he had out when he's dancing, pop, locking, he was a social reject and an outcast. Okay, that's probably why he ended up where he ended up. Kane Tube TV also said Nature Boy stole that whole carbonation name and ideology of living in nature from Crazy Sam. For those who don't know Crazy Sam, he was a host on Video Music Box with Uncle Ralph. So that is some history for those of you who do not know. Kane Tube TV, you are definitely given some enlightenment when it comes down to Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God. That's crazy.
And to touch on True, right? When he allowed his child to kneel on the floor and said that Eligio was more important than his son, I lost all hope, respect for that dude. He, to me,
I would have
is
to.
not a victim. He is a piece of shit, just like Eligio.
I agree with that. And I
Period.
mean, people could say when it comes down to true, it just blows my mind because I mean, that's a part of you. Now, I don't know how you could allow somebody to harm something that is a part of you and you sit there unfazed. I'm happy that Sheba finally made that move to leave with Jaumi. And like I said, she had posted something on Instagram, on her Instagram, and it was almost like Jaumi had a truck, and it was almost the sentiment of her being happy to see him finally be a child. And like a lot of the content creators, not a lot. Let me just say some because not a lot. It got a lot of content creators that has been involved in following this whole carbonation, and they have done a really awesome job as far as just detailing a lot of the things that have taken place. But I also think that they misunderstand not all the carbonation members that decided to come into carbonation came with something. Sheba was a virgin. She didn't come to carbonation with anything. She came as a virgin. She came to be on a spiritual journey, not expecting to go through the things that she went through. And like I said, when she gets her thoughts together, Eligio raped that young lady. You understand what I'm saying? And then after raping her, you're going to sit there and send your other supposed wife and tell her to comfort her. Like what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? But when you hear certain content creators speak on, and I would say those are the content creators that maybe haven't been following for a while and just putting their assumptions in. But however, they say that all of them went there with something. All of them did not go there with, any type of disease. I don't believe that. What's your opinion? Do you believe like they all went there with some type of STD or some form of a disease to try to heal? Because, like I said, Sheba, she was a virgin. She didn't go there with anything, and she has a whole lot of stuff now.
Well, I think that a lot of them already went there with definitely some underlying, mental issues, maybe depression, things of that nature. Um, and I think that the fact that there was so much of, swapping of bodily fluids going around and, being sleep deprived and food deprived and, moving from here to there, moving from here to there and being badgered for hours and, just being under pressure because, he had those people under pressure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I think that all of that in one nutshell is what initially made all those people sick, and who's to know what the hell he has,
Well,
if
that's
he
the thing.
if he's laying with all the women, right? He lays with all the women. He tests out every pussy that come through the door. He got to test it out. Okay. Then some of them he likes, he keeps around. The rest of them, he tries to spread them out amongst the men. He already penetrated the woman.
Well,
So
the
now,
thing. Go
you
ahead. Go
know,
ahead. Finish your thought.
it's too much of the swapping of bodily fluids.
Well, you know, the
You know,
funniest
and
thing about that was when he was in court and the first lawyer that was servicing him made the
right,
statement, in other words, that, he has something going on with his mouth and he also has other elements. And that was a part of trying to get him released early.
right.
However, that didn't work. But for me, it was almost like the rest of the young ladies that was there, I'm pretty sure, they know that they have a sickness. And I think that they're so stuck and lost that they really don't know which way to go at this point. Um,
I mean, there was a young lady. I forgot what her name was right now, off the top of my head, but there was a woman that was there, and she left. And when she left, she did have something was wrong with her vagina, and she had to get a treatment. And thank God it cleared up. Matter of
well,
fact, it was two. It was two women.
right. Nateri spoke on it. Nateri was one of the women that did a video stating that when she left, she had to go through a process of, being healed down there because it was to the point that that area was closed up, it was swollen and pusking and all kinds of stuff. And she spoke very she was very open and honest about what was happening with her body after leaving carbonation. And even though she probably like she had something prior before, which was herpes, whatever else added on while being at carbonation and sleeping with Eligio, she ended up contracting a lot more. And also Velvet spoke on it too, because Velvet mentioned having trichomonas or something of the sort, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah,
her also
because of
having to
all
deal with
the
herpes.
swapping, all the back and forth and all the different chemicals. Every woman has their own chemical, and you
Welcome,
go
G
in the
Dubs.
hall, you don't bathe. You're not washing your private areas
Hmm. Well, this is
and
you
all of
remember,
this
and that's
stuff.
another thing they stated. They don't bathe, right? And if they do take a shower, it's like literally, what he said, 2 to 3 times
That's
every other week
disgusting,
or
bro.
something. G
It's
Dubs
disgusting.
TV, thank you for pulling up. I appreciate you. I hope you like the content. Welcome, welcome, Life Pearl. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
How are you
everyone.
guys
Hey,
feeling?
G-Dub. Hey, Life of Pearl.
Yes. So just to catch you up, guys, we are definitely talking about the updates of Eligio Bishop and what's been going on with him, regarding him not getting you know, any form of bail or bond. Yes, thank you. I appreciate you pulling up. You don't understand. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you guys like the content, you guys want to stick around, subscribe, hit the up like button, notification bell. Um, and so every time I go live, you guys will be notified. But yes, guys, we were definitely jumping into the whole situation with carbonation. Puerto Rican 360 for me. I'm sorry, guys. Puerto Rican 360, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, great. Can you do a fill in for me real quick?
Sure. So basically, we were just talking about the hearing, the 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 district attorney's, case against Mr. Bishop, and how she ripped his ass to shreds and saying all the stuff, things that he was doing, and no. Well, they weren't going to grant him any bond because in Georgia, one of his charges is a non-bondable charge. And on top of that, It's too much video evidence to prove that he has, domestic violence problems. He is running a sex cult. You know, there's a lot of other things going on, with them. All the scams that he does. So that's what basically we was talking about. That district attorney really gave it to him. I was in here jumping up and down. I haven't been able to catch the probable cause hearing though, which would be
The
very
probable
interesting to
cause
listen to.
hearing. The probable cause here in Puerto Rican, it had me like, okay, I was so happy because a lot, him thinking he was getting that probable cause hearing was a part of him actually thinking that he was going to be released. But it's like, guy, are you serious? And the attorney, although he has a good attorney now, is so much things, that is in evidence that he put out there to be in evidence. That's why you're not going nowhere. You're gonna sit life of pearl. I was not shocked at all that he was not granted a bond just because of all the footage. And I'm sure they were just looking at all the footage because people were sending footage from all over. Serious. Like it was that serious.
Yes, the DA did state that she was getting anonymous tips. I mean, you know, this carbonation thing has been going on for a very long time. This is not nothing new. And there was, a lot of content creators, especially I'm gonna say like one that was very, very deep into carbonation, has serious connections, was really moving and shaking, was, giving out information on how to make a report on him and things of that nature, you know, at that time when it was really heavy. And, he's in a lot of trouble. I think people look at it and they say, oh, because it's on YouTube or whatever, but this is real, people. This is not fake. It's not a show like he claims it to be and all this and that. That's real. Those are real things that he was doing. And you can live whatever lifestyle you choose to live, but there's rules and regulations to everything in life. You know, that's just the bottom line.
100% there. And I think that's what he misinterpreted. I honestly feel like he thought whatever higher ups that he had guiding him, that he would have been able to continue on with his behaviors. It comes a point in time, like you have to know everything comes to an end. Nothing stays the same way forever. But in his mind, I think he felt like he had enough backative to continue to do what he was doing. And especially it being, you know, young black men and women who are really worried about young black men and young black women. Let's just be honest. When the white girl was there, and it has nothing to do with race, but you just see how they pushed to get that young lady out of there. They had BBC News, he was being interviewed, followed, all kinds of stuff. And for a long period of time, after a few of them have had left that were Caucasian, he continued the abuse with the younger black women and men that were there, putting it on video, and they still allowed the behaviors and the abuse and all of the things that were going on that people were able to view to continue to happen.
Yeah, you know what too that people tend to forget. Let's talk about the different agencies, right, and authorities that have been in contact with him. All right, when he had the white lady there, she was from Canada, and he got a message from the Canadian government saying that if he did not release her to her family or let her go home, that the Canadian military was going to come and get his ass. All right, so that's one agency of authority. Then, when you were in Mexico, because you were in Palenque and then you moved to another portion of Mexico. So when he was there, um, the I'm trying to think of the agency. Okay, the Department of Human Trafficking in Mexico came and took all the ladies, questioned them separately, asked them, are they being held against their own will and all this and that. Da, da, da. That's another agency. When he went to Nicaragua, the Department of Children's Services from Nicaragua.
Oh, Puerto Rican 360. One moment. Life of Pearl. Do I think that he's going to take the plea deal? Yes, I do think he's going to take a plea deal because he knows his ass is not going to be able to get out of this one.
Oh yeah, he listen, man. He ain't got no choice but to take a plea deal. But that plea deal ain't gonna be that good neither. Either way, he gonna do some time. But yeah, so back to these agencies. So
Mm-hmm.
now you got the Department of Children's Services in Nicaragua was called on him, and that's when they went over there to that house, and there was a report saying that there was 5 little boys naked jumping in the trampoline, which is really the women, because that's when all their hair was chopped off. Okay, so that's another agency. Then he went to jail. That's when he went to jail in Nicaragua for 3 weeks. Okay, so he has been in contact with several agencies of authority. Okay, now fast forward to now. He's in Atlanta. He did what he did. Old girl made a report. That's what was holding Eligio back from always going to jail. That none of the female members or male members ever came forth and made a report on him. As long as they said what he told them to say, he was all good.
And the craziest thing about that too, also I want to mention for you guys that, may not know it yet. But even Eligio serving time in Atlanta, Georgia, he is going to be picked up by Ohio, okay? Or they will extradite him to Ohio because he's going to serve time in Ohio. He's going to do time in Georgia for the crime that was committed under Nateri and whoever else felt necessary to come out that lived in the Georgia area, right? But then when he's done with that sentence, and I do believe, like I said, Life of Pearl, he would take that plea deal. When he thinking he's walking out, it will be Ohio there to pick him up and extradite him back to Ohio. Life of Pearl says yes, he has, and that is what will nail him to the cross. He has too much contact with police. Yes, I agree. Kane Tube TV. While he's in there, perhaps he might want to get his STDs cleaned up so when he gets out, he can go back to his dust bucket with a clean stick to continue to work his dirty tricks. I like that, Kane Tube TV. I definitely do think that he definitely needs to get checked out, but I also feel like a lot of the men need to go get checked out. True looks completely sick. You can see the deterioration. Musa and Solar, and Pice, like you guys ran to Mexico, but you guys need to go to the hospital instead of running to Mexico. Now, back on this True situation, I'm happy Jaumi's not there. Um, I do think Sheba's gonna need a lot of self healing and a moment to be able to gather her thoughts with everything that she's been through mentally and physically. But yeah, True is just crazy. And I think that honestly, he needs to be one of them to go to jail just because he has the mindset of Eligio. And I feel like eventually he's going to try to recruit people to try to do his own type of cult. Honestly. What is your opinion, guys? Life of Pearl, Cane Tube TV. G Dubs, what do you guys feel about that? Do you think that he is going to start recruiting to create his own cult eventually until Nature Boy comes out? And do you feel like True should also be locked up?
I think that yep, he's definitely trying to recruit. And once they figure out what they doing with this clown, then they're gonna work on all the rest. Whichever one of them opened up any type of them loans, whatever other things they might have, put their name on for him, as far as financial, because when you start dealing with scamming and money and stuff like that, now that's federal. So little by little, the ones that were not victims and helped him will go down. That I can guarantee you. Not right now, because they got to take care of him first. This is gonna take a minute.
Oh my God. Yes, Life of Pearl. True does not have the charm to attract a tribe. He is too cold, but Solar does. I agree with you about that. I truly agree with you. I don't see it, but I noticed that, he's online, like he'll be on his Instagram, and it seems like he's almost trying to pull a Nature Boy, but I don't think he has the ability to do it. Now, Solar, he has the ability to do that. So let's jump into Solar right now, knowing that Solar just did an interview with another content creator, which is Neek at Night. You guys should go check her out and watch the whole interview that she did with Solar. And I mean, looking at Solar for the time that he was there, I perceived what he was feeling, and it's kind of confirmation to realize that what I perceived from his the way he would look when certain things were happening, he actually spoke on, right? Do you think though that Solar is basically in Mexico trying to set up a situation for if Nature Boy does come out that they would continue to have carbonation going?
Definitely. I mean, that was one of the things that was mentioned in the bond hearing, that the DA said she got an anonymous tip that two of his members left to Puerto Rico under his, I mean, to Mexico under his word, so they can set up shop over there. You got to remember, they spent the most time in Mexico. Okay,
Yes,
they
they
were in
did.
Palenque for a very long time, and then they went down to another portion of Mexico. So they were there for a very long time. Also, Solar and Musa, they both speak a little bit of Spanish. Okay, and Solar used to do a lot of the driving over there. He used to do a lot of the grocery shopping and errand running. So he knows over there. He knows how to maneuver, where to shop, and how to budget your money.
Well, Solar did an
And
interview.
he's light. He's light. He's not brown, so he doesn't seem intimidating. You notice that Nature Boy wouldn't go do certain things because he knew he was, tall and brown and intimidating looking. So he would send Solar and and Loyal, because they look less intimidating. They look like, you know, uh exchange students, or college students, and
Well,
Rambo, because Rambo was
right.
Spanish.
And Rambo did a lot of the talking. I definitely going back on some of the videos, I definitely realized that Life of Pearl said no, he's trying to separate himself from it. He said he was planning on leaving before this happens. Okay, yeah, because when I was actually that's what I actually received also. I believe Neek had asked him like, do you plan on doing it yourself? And he was just like he's in a whole different space and he's not trying to go down that route. But Solar seems to have got reality snapped back in. I think Solar played like if he was far gone and fully under Nature Boy's control, but he played a game. He knew ultimately he already had been tapped into his reality, and I think he tapped in back into his reality after he lost his child. Life of Pearl said Solar did an interview on Neek and he really opens up and shared he didn't like the things Nature Boy did. Losing his child messed him up. Yes, and that's what I got Life of Pearl because I went over there to watch Neek at night and I thought she did an awesome job. Like I said, if True is just crazy because the interview she did with True, she honestly kept her composure because I swear I felt like I could have jumped through the computer for her and slapped True face off because I feel like he was definitely playing a game. And it was just so sad for a man to still speak in a sense of you're not even caring about the offspring that you brought into this world. Like you don't even care. Like it's crazy. But
Well,
I
see, with
do
True,
believe that.
oh, sorry, I'm
No,
sorry,
no,
Justice.
go right ahead, Puerto Rican 360. Go right
See,
ahead.
with True, you got to understand that normally when Eligio's around, True, doesn't speak. He's very quiet because Eligio's around. Now Eligio's not around. So all this shit that he's been suppressing all this time, now he's being real smart with his mouth. He's calling people pagan, pagan women and pagan men. He's being very disrespectful and condescending and all of that. Real bad, real bad. And he knows that's not in his character. All that is just projection of his feelings, and he's projecting it onto everyone else. Now, Solar, I came across a video where he was being interviewed by a transsexual, and she asked him if he ever, performed fellatio on a man, and he said he did. And she asked him, "Did you like it?" And he said he did not like it. But he did like when the man performed fellatio on him. So, I don't know.
Okay. 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 Wait. Let's rewind for a moment, right? Yes, she did a good job with Solar and the True interview. I couldn't watch. He was playing with her. Yes, I agree. Life of Pearl, me and you is on the same path because I definitely feel the same way about that interview. Kane Tube TV, that could be all caps. Solar, if anybody could have left the many times Eligio was locked, took trips without the tribe, left them on PR, left them in PR. He was in the States, could have left. He could have been left. Oh, yeah. I mean, he could have definitely been, okay, what is this? How do I get rid of this? Somebody's, could somebody take this off of me? What is this? I don't want, what is going on here? What is going on here? I'm sorry, guys. Somebody is putting some stuff in my chat. And it's like, okay. I'm learning this thing, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to hide it. What the hell is this? Okay. I gotta go into this thing. Block. Okay, we're gonna do you like that. Okay. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I think somebody was trying to spam my chat with all the stuff they were
That was
doing.
a bot. Yeah, that was a bot.
Oh my God. I was like, what is going on here? Okay, forgive me because you guys know, like, I'm totally like, I was like, what? I'm seeing all this. Okay, I don't like craziness. Life of Pearl, you see, you see me. I'm like, hold on, how do I do this? What is going on? I was putting it up on the screen. Y'all have it. Listen, okay, I have to get back. Listen, thank you for telling me that they spamming and that was a bot. Thank you. Thank you, Unc. I appreciate that so much. Okay, back to what we were talking about. Yes, they threw me so off guard. Puerto Rican 360, can you just refresh for me really, really quick? Okay, Puerto Rican 360. What in
I
the
mean,
girl, G Dubs? That's what I said. What in the, and I'm over here going crazy. I'm over here cracking. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this is unreal. So I was up here trying to figure out, and I'm putting it up on the screen, and this coming up big on the screen. I'm like, what is going on? Oh my goodness.
yeah, that
Mm-mm-mm.
was freaky. That was freaky.
It threw me completely off of just my whole thought process of everything I was about to say. Or, like I said, let's get back to it. That bot definitely threw me off. But yes, Puerto Rican 360, refresh for me and continue. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, this situation with him, I've been waiting for this to happen for a long time because he's a real piece of work. I mean, I'm not one to be frowning on anybody's way of life, but it's just the humiliation and, the disgusting things that he does that I can't stomach. I really can't. Yes, I saw that video about his experience. But it is what it is. Everyone
Do
has
you think
experiences.
do you think that he was like almost coerced into having that experience with a trans? Because I think Eligio did things and put it on tape in order to degrade the men and always have something over them. Because
Nah, Solar, let me tell you something about Solar. Solar, he is bisexual. Okay? He's bisexual. He's been, even before he came over there, he was out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He said he did enjoy a man performing on him. And this is before he even came to the tribe. So, all of those men have some sort of underlying either secret issue or whatever the case may be, and and they fight with it. People need to just be happy with who they are and what they like. Stop worrying about what the person down the street is going to think or whatever. If you want to be in a polygamous marriage, go do it. Don't worry about nobody else. If you want to be in a polyamorous marriage, go do it. You want to be gay, you want to be bisexual, or whatever other fucking word they got nowadays. Go do it. Stop worrying about what people are gonna think.
I mean, it's not what you do, but it's definitely how you go about doing it. And you're so right about that, Puerto Rican. Life of Pearl said, I started watching him because of my daughter. I was scared watching him prey on girls around my daughter's age 18 to 21. Now, you know what's so funny about that, Life of Pearl? He was literally grooming a lot of them from before the age of 18 years old. A lot of them had to been like 17, 16, and probably even younger. And he was basically telling them they can't come to where he was at because he was moving around. He Palenque, Costa Rica, you name it. He was moving around, but he was already grooming them. So when they turn 18, they would automatically go to him. And the reason why was him even choosing to only accept younger and only talk to younger people was because that's the only way to groom them. You got to groom them from young. You got to groom the mind from young. And he already had basically captured that's how he will be able to have control because right now our youth are the future. What better else way right now but to capture the youth? You understand what I'm saying? And so for me, I have my son. My son, he'll be 18 in let's say 3 years, right? And for me, I don't never want him to ever be so impressionable to allow somebody to capture his vision and his thoughts. I always try to instill in my children, please go do your own research. Even if you may listen to somebody that may seem more in your perspective more enlightened than yourself, still go and do that research. I think a lot of times what has been going on, and of course I feel like it's all a part of the design. If you guys realize right now, our kids do not write, they do not read books, everything is computer or phone. You understand what I'm saying? So they have lost all sensibility on how to just do the basics, and it was a reason it was designed that way, to have our children like robots. And that's just my opinion. Okay, YouTube, that is just my opinion. Puerto Rican 360. I agree with Life of Pearl and that whole situation from 18 to 21 and even younger. And there's more cult leaders that's out there like Nature Boy. And we spoke on one cult leader, a female. Her name is she has a cult that she's running, Daddy's Girl. But we're gonna get a little deeper into her because I need to do more research on her. But like,
Yeah, we
how
do,
do
cause
we
I,
try to?
cause I want to beat that bitch up. In name of all fat women, I want to beat her ass.
But I'm gonna tell you
So,
something. It goes down to preying on what you may consider the weak, and that's what I feel like I fear. Preying on the weak and impressionable minds. Look at what's happening. Believe it or not, that's what where the fear comes in, because you definitely don't want one of your children to end up in the position that these young people are in. So like, I have a lot of empathy for the situation when it comes down to these young people. Life of Pearl said exactly, my daughter is into astrology like me, but I had to show her how people use it to harm other or prey on others with you. I agree with you. And I feel like astrology is an opening for those people who are into it. When you meet people that don't have the right mindset on how to use it and not try to use it to manipulate, it's awesome to know who you are, because astrology does take you into a deeper central sense of central being of who you are. But a lot of people use it with bad intentions. And I agree with you when you say that. Life Pearl also said he preyed on the youth that was broken and was trying to find themselves spiritually. I agree with you on that too. I think that those young people were definitely on a spiritual journey. I also think that they probably were running from things that they've been through in their life. Like I said, a lot of times we don't realize where the hurt and the pain comes from. But remember, you could be 30 years old and been through so much traumatic things in your life and go back to that 9-year-old little girl or that 9-year-old little boy that was feeling that pain, but you're a grown person. But because that was never healed or taken care of, you revert back into that young child that you was, going through all that traumatic situations. Kane Tube TV said Solar was the first one lines up getting his pipe bit. Oh my goodness. Listen. Okay. 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 I
oh,
mean, you can be right about that. You can be right about that. Uh, Oh my goodness. TS along with Jackson Musa. So all of them was engaged in this activity with this trans woman.
yep.
So the
They were
question is,
all they were
do you
all in a
guys
room
think,
together, and he recorded. That's what one of the videos that he recorded. In recent time. But I wanted to say to Life of Pearl, I got to take my hat off to you, to the fact that you monitored your daughter and made sure that she was safe while being on this internet and showing her, the right way. Because a lot of parents are not doing that. They just leave their kids to their own devices, and then you turn around and you look, and your child is into some shit, and then you can't get them out. Look what Velvet's dad went through to get his daughter out. And he did. And I didn't know that man personally, but he will always have respect, and a place in my heart, because he did what a parent was supposed to do. He stood up for his child.
yes, Puerto Rican 360. I totally agree with you when it comes down to Life of Pearl. Like, my hats off, because it's all about protecting our youth. Like I said, they're like so impressionable. And a lot of times, it's certain content creators that spoke on this story. Um, for me, I felt with certain content creators a little biased, even though I don't know these young people. And I'm gonna just tell you why. Let me paint this picture better yet. You grew up your child, right? And you grew them up with the best you had and the best you knew. And you instilled certain values and morals. into your child and they grow up. And you assume to yourself that all that you have instilled in them, that they will continue to carry it on. And they end up in a position such as these young people. And you have people that instead of trying to give them an outlet, trying to have an understanding, you have people that are bashing them. Like, I don't see the point of you bashing them or calling them stupid or all types of stuff, just because if you think about it, that could have been your child, right? Pop Marquez, you could tell Velvet didn't come from a bad home. She probably went through traumatic situations in her life, but you can tell the love was still there. She still had family that instilled morals and values within her. But so happened a demon was able to come in and blind her. It's like almost a snake with a venom. And so that's why for me, when I think about it, I don't know how you guys feel, but that's why I think my empathy do go out to those young people that decided to go on this journey that they thought was going to be a spiritual journey and ended up abused, manipulated, destroyed ultimately. A Life for Pearl, I had so much respect for Velvet's dad. He showed up and he showed out. I would have been on the same thing. I respect Pop Marquez also, 100%. I also think some of the parents probably felt that they were over it.
And let's not forget Miss Tina, because she was 10 toes down, standing there with her man, going to look
Yes,
for her stepdaughter.
yes. Tina did play a awesome part in just trying to assist Pop Marquez. And I feel like you guys do. I think that as parents, we should not give up on our children. I don't care how old your children get, they're still your children. Do not give up on them. We may not agree with the choices and the lifestyle, and unfortunately, we have to allow our children to go through this journey that's already written for them. And that's the realization that I've came to also. We all have a journey that's already written for us. I always say we have a time when we're coming into the world. We definitely do not have a time when we're leaving, although we know that we will be expiring. We just don't know when, but we all know when we're coming into the world. And so, with that being said, our path has already been forewritten. And I just think they're going through their journey, and they're meeting the bumps in the roads, because without mistakes, you can't have the experience of the knowledge to do better. But I definitely pray for them, and I just have empathy for them when it comes down to like the whole situation, and even them having to go to well, I'm gonna be honest with you, like Musa and certain people I do think need to go to jail and sit down for a minute and revamp their mental thoughts and go to therapy. A lot of them need extensive, intensive therapy. Life of Pearl said, yes, I have so much empathy for them. I can't talk bad about the youth. They still have a lot to learn, and they met monsters trying to find themselves. I agree with you. I just want to pour love and understanding into them. I feel the same way. And unfortunately, because they've been so brainwashed, it's going to be difficult. But you got to keep on. And even if, it may not necessarily per se be these young people, but it's young people out there that's also looking, for an awakening for their spiritual journey. This generation has deepened themselves to want to find themselves more, and so it leaves them more susceptible to predators. Puerto Rican 360, what's your input?
Well, a lot of young folks also want to be, they're dying to be a part of something, and you don't need a whole group or crowd to be somebody, you know. You have to be yourself. You have to embrace yourself and your natural talents, and all the good things and all the bad things that you have in you, because we all have it. You don't need a church or any type of building or some man telling you some bullshit or a woman telling you some shit to be somebody or be a part of something. People
And
really need to work on their self-esteem.
yeah,
You know,
and accepting judgment, because I think that as young people, we take judgment very hard. And I just want to say, for those, whoever may be in the bushes, whoever may be looking at this video later on, always remember, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, people are always going to have something to say. They're always going to place judgment on what they don't know or don't have an understanding of, right? And that should never ever sway what you know as your truth and what your journey is because of people's judgment. And that's where you realize throughout life, even through my life, going through a lot of things that I've been through in my life, I've come to the realization of I have to take the good with the bad. And I have to accept and understand that people may not understand me, but as long as I understand me, they can place whatever judgment they want on me because they do not know me and they do not understand me. But I know me and I understand me. And that's why Kane 2 TV, I want to do something with you where you actually speak on knowledge itself, because this is what a lot of these cult members are um tricking these young youth with. Oh, come, I'm teaching you knowledge itself. What's the first step to knowledge itself? And I really want to do a full on breakdown, and I do think Kane Tube TV, you'll be the best person to speak on it and give a breakdown on what that is. Because like I said, you hear it constantly being used to entice the young people, but yet these cult leaders that's using the words, the symbolizations of knowledge itself, they don't even have the knowledge to even give you knowledge itself, right? So I definitely want to set that up for us to do, and I hope you guys pull up on us for that, because I'm telling you, when Kane Tube TV comes on, he has a lot of jewels that he's able to drop. He's been down for a long time. His history goes very, very far. So definitely Kane Tube TV, we're gonna get up on that, because that was something that I noticed that these cult leaders do. I mean, for me, I'm just grateful that this man is locked up and locked away. And for the most part, my mental thought is on the rest of the young people. I do you guys feel like Malia, Zoka, Aya, and Efru would eventually end up departing? Or do you feel like they're gonna try to stick it through and stick with Trip? What's your opinion on that? Do you guys think like they're gonna eventually leave?
I think the women are gonna
Thank you,
stick
G
it through.
Dubs. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, say that again.
I think the women are gonna stick it through.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
okay. Eh.
yep.
GameTube TV said, in
Because
order to have knowledge of self, one must know themselves. Exactly. And that's what I want to go and get in depth with. CaneTube TV, not the good parts and the parts you like, but all parts of yourself. That's the true knowledge of self. He's already putting, so you guys know what to expect when he comes on to even spit his literature, because you're already getting the jewels already in the chat. And I appreciate you so much, CaneTube TV, because like that's what I enjoy, to be able to spread word. Each one teach one. I'm learning every day. You guys are teaching me every day. Um, and I think that's what's going to just make us all great, just being open to want to learn. Um, that's where I'm at. I'm always into wanting to learn. You know what I'm saying? That's just a taste. That's what I'm saying. It's just a taste. And my mouth is watering for the knowledge, right? I'm telling you, I'm gonna set it up ASAP so you guys could get a chance to allow Kane2 TV to pull up and drop this knowledge on you guys. I'm telling you, his literature will have you hanging on. You're gonna want to hear more. I promise. Puerto Rican 360. You wanted to say something, my love. Jump right on in.
No, I was saying that the reason why I feel that the women, those that are left, that are not going to leave him, is because they are so far gone. And if you know about domestic violence, um, they are already at the bottom stage where they only believe that, without him, they can't live. They have no power. So they're going to stick around with him for a while, definitely, for a minute.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you my opinion. Thank you, Life of Pearl. Thank you, G Dub. Thank you, Kane Tube TV. Thank you, Puerto Rican 360. I appreciate you guys so very much for just coming through and supporting my channel. It's people like you I truly appreciate that come around and give good conversation. And also, like I said, I'm always learning, even when I'm reading the chat statements that's made, it is a jewel on me. And I can't even thank you guys enough for like your support. Like I truly, truly appreciate you guys so, so very, very much. I just wanted to jump in and say that. And for those of you who might be in the bushes, it's okay. I know sometimes you don't want to drop down. It's fine. But if you're watching, take the time out to please subscribe and hit the up like button and notification bell. So every time that the Odyssey podcast is live, you guys will know. And G Dubs and Life of Pearl, feel free to hit the link. You guys are welcome to hit the link. In fact, when I do the Cane Tube literature, I'm gonna open the panel for anybody that wants to come on to be able to ask him questions, if that's fine with him, and his wife, to make sure you guys can come on and ask questions or you have a conversation or whatnot. But I appreciate you ladies so, so very much. And if you guys have a channel, please put it inside the chat. I'll definitely go over and subscribe and also support. I'm big on supporting black owned businesses, black sisters, black brothers. I'm into supporting us. I'm into elevating us at all times. And I'm starting off small. I'm definitely on my way to fully being an entrepreneur. And just you guys give me the inspiration to keep on going. So I appreciate it. Puerto Rican 360, go right. Oh, I thought Puerto Rican. Oh, she's there.
I
Go ahead,
lost you.
Puerto
I
Rican.
lost you. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was giving you all a thanks for coming and supporting
Oh,
Theodesty podcast. And I'm just giving my appreciations to you guys, for even giving me conversation, giving me topics, discussion when I'm having topics, I should say, just interacting. I find that
well,
to be,
you more than welcome, Nisi Poo. You already know how
yeah,
we
I
do with
feel rich,
family.
I
We gotta
feel like
hold each other down. You know what I'm saying? We gotta hold each other down.
all day
And
long.
Life of Pearl, I'm glad you caught the live too. I hope you keep coming back. I like your input. I like your conversation. G Dubs, you already know. And I always have a great time coming up here. If you guys have any suggestions of other topics, because we don't want to stick on Nature Boy. We want to give updates, but we want to move on for other things. There's life beyond Nature Boy. But if you guys have any suggestions or topics or anything you want to hit on, please let us know. So we can get into this real in-depth, good conversation.
Yes, you hit that on the head, Puerto Rican 360. You hit that on the head. You said that so eloquently, and that is exactly where I'm at with it. Kane Tube TV said, just know, family, we are all valuable to one common cause, and that is love, which is the highest level of understanding. And understanding comes from having knowledge and wisdom. And I'm going to just repeat that again because that is so powerful, Kane Tube TV. Just know, family, we are all valuable to one common cause, and that is love, which is the highest level of understanding. And understanding comes from having knowledge and wisdom. And that's powerful. And that's the greatest jewel ever to be dropped right here on the Odyssey podcast, y'all. G Dubs, I might I might not say much, but I'm here to support y'all. I appreciate your support so very much. I appreciate you, sis, very, very much. But we definitely are going to dive into other things. But as you guys know, the update for carbonation is Eligio was denied bond. He was also denied in his probable cause hearing, so he will be judged by a jury of his peers. Um, Musa, Pais, and Solar are living their best life in Mexico. Um, I don't know what's going to happen with Musa, but I'll definitely keep my eyes open and keep updated on that. And currently, the young ladies, Malia, Aya, Eferu, and Zoka and True are currently still together. Sheba has went back home. And so that is the full on update with the carbonation. Now I want to jump into something real quick. How do you guys feel about the Kevin Samuels death? Life of Hurricane Tube TV said we can be the example setters by showing and proving through our ways and actions. Yes, you're 100% right. Life of Pearl, I would love to build on topics that deal with mental health in the Black community. He needs to be talked about more so we can seek help. I agree with you, Life of Pearl, and I would love for you to hit the link and we could go deeper on that. And I'm definitely gonna even I'm gonna do my whole setup so we can go a little bit deeper on mental health because it is plaguing our Black community at a heighten. I live in New York, so a lot of things that I have came across watching on the news or coming across reading it has to do with mental illness. And when I tell you in our communities, we don't discuss it enough. We don't believe in therapy. It's a whole lot that I think that we we do a disservice to ourselves by not being able to be knowledgeable on what may be happening with our mental health for real. So I am definitely going to set that up and we're going to do that topic. So stick around, Life of Pearl. I got that on and popping for you. Kane Tube TV, expect this case to drag out for about a year or so. I truly do feel like they'll be back and forth to court and it will be continued to be adjourned. And eventually, I do believe that Eligio will take a plea deal, but I also do believe that he's going to take a plea deal and he's also going to snitch, honestly. I do feel that way. G Dubs, I never watched any of KS videos, but sad to see the hate. Oh man, let me tell you. Let's get into this Kevin Samuel hatred, y'all. Mm. Puerto Rican 360, Life of Pearl, and G Dub. We are women. Okay. I'm sure you guys have came across it and have seen, little snippets or clips that people may have posted. What is your opinion regarding his death and how much hate that he has garnered since he has died?
Well, I'm going to say this about Kevin Samuel. Sometimes when you have a message and your delivery is too harsh, it makes it sound really terrible. Um, Also, a lot of people don't like to hear the truth because they don't want to just dig deep inside and say, yeah, I do behave like that, or yeah, I do this. And maybe my behavior is causing me to have these issues, right? And so that's what his problem was, that his delivery of how he gave it to the public was really harsh and nasty, you know?
Well,
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Puerto Rican.
yeah, and not to say, there was some of the things that he would say would be on point as far as factual, but his delivery was not good, you know? You get more with sugar than you do with vinegar.
I could agree with that. I could agree. Okay, so I'm like half and half on it. I'm definitely half and half on it with that. I could agree, and then it's like off and on. I do think some people do need the harsh reality. Um, some people you could tell them as nice as possible, and they're still unable to receive it. Um, Hashtag Life of Pearl said, I can't root for anyone death if I don't like. I just move around. I don't have to hate you because I don't agree. Ah, that's powerful. And I think that's what we lack. I think really and truly we lack that. Like, okay, I may not like you, but or I may not agree with you. I'm gonna keep it pushing and moving around, but it does not mean that I have to build up all this hate. G Dubs, I feel that his delivery wasn't the best. However, it doesn't mean he wasn't speaking some truth. I'm not from the US and therefore I'm used to his kinds of delivery. Laugh out loud. Nevertheless, it's sad. Let me tell you something, right? Me don't know what y'all talk about. Okay? All right. You don't know G Dubs. Me know what y'all talk about because that's how I feel too. um you know I feel like he needed to present himself depending on the type of person or woman he was engaging in talking to, but nonetheless I did agree with a lot that he was saying. Dr. Shah Sharad Ali was way before Kevin Samuels and was saying the same exact shit he was saying, and she had two books out. Wow. Ooh, came to TV. I want to dig into that because I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that, and this is actually the first time I'm actually hearing this name, and I'm gonna go do my own research. But wow, I didn't even know that. And it's a woman. Okay, all right now. Like I said, like I may not agree with how his delivery was. I do feel like yes, it's a way that you should come off when trying to get a message across. But ultimately, I do honestly feel like sometimes some people need it harsh because I came across one of his videos where he started off nice, explaining to the woman, look, you want a man that has six figures and a house and a car and this, that, and the third. What do you have? So, oh my goodness, what is going on with these bots? What I go? Hold on. This bot gonna make me turn West Indian on it right now. What is going on here? Block you. Oh my goodness. I think YouTube is trying to sabotage me. I'm telling you guys. Disrespectfulness is going on here, guys. Oh my God. Okay. Didn't I block? Oh God, it's coming back again. Okay.
You blocked G Dubs by accident.
Oh my goodness. G Dubs, come back, babes. I'm trying to block this other guy. Oh God. How the hell I unblock now? Oh my goodness. Guys, forgive me. I'm learning this whole thing. G Dubs, I'm going to find out how to unblock you. An error occurred trying to refresh. Oh my God. Oh my God, I got to find a way to unblock G Dub. Oh my God. I'm thinking that this thing is trying to sabotage me right now. Oh my goodness. What is going on here? Guys, forgive me. I don't know what's happening. This thing keeps popping up on a consistent. I'm trying to block it. I end up blocking G Dubs. G Dubs, if you are there, I have to find a way how to unblock you. I am new to doing this whole technical work back here, so forgive me. I don't know if you can come in through another page until I find out how to unblock. Puerto Rican 360, talk for me, darling, while I figure out how to unblock G Dub.
These damn bots
Listen.
fucking up the life. I'm here, guys. My bad. I'm here. But yeah, the world is full of devilishment. It really is. And we need to stay, keep our eyes open at all times and pay attention to our
Um,
children.
Kane Tube TV, forgive me. I don't know what's going on. This thing keeps popping up, and then it just timed you out.
Oh
This is
no.
crazy. It timed
Mm,
Kane Tube TV out for 5 minutes. And every time
We
I
might
press
have
the
to,
thing, it says an error occurred. Try refreshing the page.
yeah, we might need to end the live so you can fix it.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I wanted to definitely get into the Kevin Samuels conversation with you guys. G Dubs, I'm going to figure this whole situation out on how to unblock you, and I'm so sorry, Kane 2 TV. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Like I said, I'm now getting familiar with the technical background of the StreamYard, but I'm definitely going to come back and we are going to start off where we left off, especially regarding the Kevin Samuels. We're also going to dive deeper into other topics. I'm also going to be speaking on the mental health topic. I'm going to also do some of my research. Life of Pearl, you are welcome to hit the panel and also give your insight that you have um, about mental illness that can help others. I will highly appreciate it. And I'm going to end this live right now so I can figure out how to unblock G Dubs and set up a brand new live for us to, like I said, wherever we left off, we're going to start up and keep on going from there. I just want to give a special shout out to hashtag Life of Pearl, Kane Tube TV, and G Dubs, and Puerto Rican 360, and everybody that may be in the bushes. I appreciate you guys no matter what. Thank you guys for coming through and showing me your support. You guys don't understand. I'm like so inspired even more and just grateful just to have listening ears and having people that's willing to have the conversation with me. And I love to attract like-minded people. So I just like appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna show my gratitude by being consistent, um, and I just hope you guys stick along with me on this journey that I'm on, in this YouTube world of entrepreneurship. And like I said, I'm always here. I'm willing to support my sisters' businesses as well as my brother's businesses, entrepreneurship. I'm all in. You let me know I'm all in for it. I'm all about elevating our people. I also want you guys to know that Kane Tube TV has his own let me say this right. He has his own recording company in which he makes all original beats. So if you guys are interested in original beats, you guys can leave a message in a comment box, or you can contact them through Skull Crusher Production _7. Again, Skull Crusher SKULL Production _7. He does all original beats. Any form of beats, any ideas that you may want to create and make your own, he definitely can do that for you. So go ahead and support. Tell a friend to tell a friend if they're interested. Anybody that may have channels that's interested, Puerto Rican 360. I also want you to check her out. Also under Skull Crusher Production _7. She also does art, creative art. So if you guys want something to be put on a t-shirt, that's original, that's your ideal, she can definitely do that for you. She also has canvases that she paints that you can put in your house, beautiful paintings. So if you guys are interested, like I said, you can definitely get to them by just going to Skull Crusher Production _7, or you can leave a comment in the comment box and I will definitely deliver the message. Ah, you guys make me feel so good. And this bot is making me so upset because it keeps on showing up and is messing up my show. And you know, I got to figure out how to deal with this whole situation with the bots. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for just sticking around and conversating with me for this whole hour and 48 minutes and 56 seconds. I appreciate you guys so much. This is the Odyssey Podcast with your girl, Word Justice. Please subscribe, hit the up like button and notification bell. So every time I go live, you guys will be notified to come out and hang out with me. You guys already know. I'm also going to be playing some beats too. I'm going to play some original beats from Kane Tube TV. I'm going to set all of that up so you guys can just get a sneak peek of what K2 TV has to offer. And also, Puerto Rican 360 will show you a few things that she has to offer. So you guys can just pretty much get a visual of, what you may want to purchase as far as an original beat to, a nice shirt to a canvas to put in your house. Listen, I'm all into supporting black businesses, y'all. We got to support our black businesses. It's very important because we need to elevate ourselves and our youth to understand we are the next best entrepreneurs that's out here. And we was doing it from way back then, but they was just knocking us off every time. Like we created cars and lights and did all that. So, yeah, guys, Puerto Rican 360, I'm going to leave you with a few last words. So you go right ahead, darling.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody that came through. Sorry that we had this technical difficulties going on here in the chat. I see that Life of Pearl got blocked also. Please know that we didn't do that on purpose. There's something going on with the StreamYard. So justice will fix it. Please come back to the live. We really enjoyed you. And see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out, y'all. The Odyssey podcast with your girl, Word Justice.